You have a person that you just totally are in love with. You think your relationship's perfect, and then bam, they leave. And it feels like it's out of left field. What do you do? The heartbreak is the same as if they had passed away. You know, it's and they say that's a real symptom that really does seem that way. So maybe you're feeling that way, that you just recently lost somebody and you don't understand it, and maybe even blame God a little bit for not being in that situation with you. But the truth of the matter is, in all relationships, if we don't put God first, they're not going to work the way you want them to work. Yeah, some of them might last the time, but that's very, very, very thin margins. I mean, that people without having God in their life, that they can actually make their relationships work. Because ultimately, when you're living in the world and for the world, you become part of the world. And so that means your relationship does too. When, you come and go and do what you want, and the other person does too, or maybe you guys do everything together, but that person has a secret life that you didn't even know that they had. And, maybe they end up cheating on you and decide they want to leave you, which a lot of times is what happens in relationships, right? We've all been there. I know I've been there. I've been I had a boyfriend I was so in love with, and how devastating was it that he would cheat on me, and I would try again, and this time, kind of like that bee in the Bee Movie, if you've ever seen it, the Jerry Seinfeld Bee Movie, where it's the bee keeps hitting the window, this time. Well, that's kind of where I was at with my relationship with that person. And but it never worked out, and he never stopped cheating. And so the thing of it is in that relationship, even though I believed in God, and even though I prayed a lot, I didn't trust the Lord for that relationship. In fact, I was married once and got divorced. I didn't trust the Lord for that relationship either. And there was a lot of devastation that happened in that, because I had children with my ex-husband. And if you don't put the Lord first in your life and in your marriage, and you're just asking for trouble, because it just takes somebody looking sideways or somebody to come along, when you're not paying attention and you think everything's going good, and then that other person is maybe not looking to get out, but maybe the relationship has grown stagnant or stale, maybe just on one part, and somebody comes along and makes that person feel good, and it starts out as innocent flirting, and then pretty soon there's a whole all-out, cheating going on. And so it really stinks. It really stinks when you're on the receiving end of that. And it also stinks when you're the person that's creating that kind of a problem for somebody else, because you might not be looking at it at the time, but eventually you're going to think about it and think about what you did to that person. And my point is that you really need the Lord, and even if you turn your life around, that might not bring back that person per se, but in the next relationship, you can take what happened from that and learn from it, and then learn to put the Lord first in your relationship. We can look at in the Bible, in the Bible times, look at David. King David was this great prophet who had this awesome relationship with the Lord, and yet he ended up cheating. I mean, he wasn't really cheating because they could marry a lot of wives back then, and he did have several wives already, but he did cheat on he had a captain of his armies, and whose wife was very beautiful. And so while his men were out at war, he starts wooing the captain's wife and ends up sleeping with her and getting her pregnant. And then on top of it, he tries to hide the fact that he did that by bringing the captain off of the battlefield, and then trying to get him drunk and trying to get him to go home and sleep with his wife so they could pretend like that, that the husband got her pregnant. And yeah, that didn't work, because the captain was so loyal, he would not go home. Well, here's King David, that up until this point has always been that honorable person. Now look at him. Not only did he cheat, now he's and create this whole devastating thing. Now he is manipulating, lying, and he ultimately has the person, has this captain go back out on the field. He tells another one of his like general people, his personal whatevers, when you get him out there, I want you to put him in the thick of war, and so that he can have the walls fall down on him. And that's what happened. He lost his life. The captain lost his life, and all he was doing was fighting for the king, who was King David. But he lost his life because of King David's desire, and then impregnating the man's wife. So you can see clear back in the Bible time that even people with the best intentions or the closest relationships with God can still fail. And so, and it does happen sometimes. But where David went wrong was he put God aside in all of that. He went with his fleshly lust instead of praying when he recognized Bathsheba, the woman. He was out walking around one night and he sees her taking a bath. His palace kind of set up on a hill, and so he would look down over the city and he saw her bathing. So he looks down and sees her, and so does he pray because now he's feeling these lustful feelings. First, he doesn't know who she is, so he finds out who she is, right? So when he finds out who she is and that she is married to his captain, he doesn't say to the Lord, Lord, you're going to have to help me. I'm really lusting for this woman. I don't know what to do. And the same goes for her. Of course, I know David was the king, and so you probably feel like, but she could have said, man, come on. I don't know. There was different times back then, but here nor there, David's first recourse, and he knew better, was that he should have consulted the Lord and never got into that relationship with Bathsheba. But, so a lot of things could have been averted. That man could have lived his life. He could have come home. He could have been a victor in a war for his king. King David should have been out on the field with his men, not at home. Kings back then went out to the battles. There were so many things. My point isn't about that. It's about the fact that he didn't lean into the Lord and in that situation. And so, or even when he found out that Bathsheba was pregnant, and now what's he going to do? He should have repented then and asked the Lord for forgiveness and then went from there. But he didn't do that either. So he just made the situation worse. And that's what we tend to do, So when you're feeling like you have all this heartache and stuff from losing somebody that you love because they walked out the door, you have to evaluate where you're at now. So you might want to work it out with them, give them a second chance like I did so many multiple times. Or, you might not, and you just might want to learn and grow from there. But I'm telling you, unless you put God first in your life, it's God first, always, in everything. And when you do, the benefits of that are 100-fold. I mean, it's so uplifting. You can't not exclude him from your relationship, because when you get into trouble, you can't then just go say, God, where were you? Or why didn't you? Or anything. You have to look at yourself and say, okay, this is where I'm going to get better. I'm going to start praying now and start leaning into the Lord and let him heal your heart, because that's what he'll do. He will start replacing that pain with peace. And it's a peace that is, you can't get it anywhere else. You walk around feeling empty, and that emptiness is because you were built to be in connection and communication with the Lord. And when you're not, you feel it. And so when you're going through something painful, like losing somebody that you love, you have to just really be honest with the Lord. Pray in the Spirit. Meditate on his word, Get to know him personally, not just sit on a bench pew in church on a Sunday and then call it good and say, well, I go to church. Well, a relationship with the Lord, you can go sit anywhere. You can You can go sit at your neighbor's house on the front porch and listen to them talk, and then go home and still not have any idea who the person is or anything about them. You just know that you listen to them talk about certain things on the porch. So if you really get to know the person, besides just sitting and listening to them talk for 30 minutes once a week, and you spend time with them, and you ask them questions, and you eat dinner together, and you go do things together, then you start knowing this person. You know how to take them, to understand them, just to know the person. You just know them on such a much more intimate when you spend time with them. The more time you spend, the more time you learn. And that's the same with the Lord. If you don't spend personal time with God, then what is it? It's nothing. You're sitting and just taking in a 30-minute sermon, and you're going home and wait until the next church service. So when you are in pain from losing somebody, no matter what kind of loss, it's lean into the Lord, get into the Word, pray about it, consult Him. And then guess what? The next relationship you go into, 100 times better. And when that person is the same like you, and maybe you guys can pray together, and your relationship is just going to grow. It's just going to be, God makes promises to us and He keeps those promises to us, that He will be in all things, and nothing's impossible for Him. And so even if you were to work out the relationship with the person that you lost, it's so important that you make God first, and that they make God first, because you'll have a real trust for each other, and a real love and a real bond for each other that you wouldn't have normally just doing it on your own. So would be my advice to you, and it's advice to me, to anybody, because I know we've all been there at least. Well, maybe not all of us, but I think a majority of us have been there. Either usually even if it's in high school or at some point in time, you go through the big loss of losing somebody. So I think it's very important to be mindful of God first. God first, always. Just remember that. If you have any things you need me to pray for with you, if you want to put it down in the comments, I certainly will be glad to help you, pray with you about anything concerning, losing somebody that you love, and maybe you're heartbroken right now, and you don't know where to turn, and you want to know more about God or about anything. Just put it in the comment. I'll pray with you. Okay. All right. Well, have a blessed day, and we'll talk soon. Bye-bye.